Hello and welcome back to Angie B Cards and Crafts. Thank you for joining me. Right, so today I'm doing a really brief video and it's along the lines of how to unclog the gloss sprays. I've had a few people ask me now how you do it, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't had a problem with them clogging, but I have been asked to talk about how you can unclog them if it does happen, so I thought I'd go through that. So I've just picked up a few bottles. I've got a couple. This one's pretty much empty, it's down at just the label height. This one's a little bit further up, and this one's sort of pretty full up here. So if I just go through why they will clog. So the gloss sprays are an acrylic paint. Acrylic paint is plastic. If you leave it exposed to the air by not putting your top on, the hole here is going to get covered with a layer of acrylic paint, effectively a layer of plastic. So you might just have to pick the end off, and sometimes that will be sufficient. It may also be that, basically the makeup of the bottle is you have a tube, the spray bit and the bottle. The tube goes into the bottom of the bottle, but that also happens to be where this sediment lives. So if the sediment is living there and your tube is living there, sometimes the sediment gets sucked up the tube. Now if you are a really diligent, careful crafter, you will spend your time shaking your bottles like this and being very careful. If you're called Angela and have Angie B Cards and Crafts as your crafty business, you will go like that. But you will do it not with this on. Well, sometimes you do it with that on, but generally you will do it with that bit covered. So the reason that you cover that bit is because what can happen is the paint will come up these sides if you shake it vigorously. So as you're shaking, some of this sediment, which has been mixed in this one, but some of this sediment will shoot up the tube and it can block the tube. So I'm just going to get a piece of paper, use this piece, and I'm just going to do some spraying and see how these ones are working. So that one's spraying quite well. So what I do at the end of every single spray, and if I don't do it immediately, I'll do it as soon as I remember it, but generally as soon as I've sprayed, it's just literally a quick wipe and then put the lid on. That's the best thing you can do to stop them clogging, because generally it's just because the air has got to this bit, the acrylic paint has turned into its plastic form and the hole's covered. So if you cover it up so there's no air getting to it and you've cleaned off the edge, there's nothing there for the air to then turn into plastic. Let's try this one. So again, that's it with the lid on. You can see the lid has got paint inside it because at some point when I have shaken it, the paint has come up the sides and coated the lid. But if you're not worried about that, that's fine. So again, oh, that one's spraying. So again, just make sure that you're actually doing that right. This is one I've not used very much. I don't know if I've even used it at all. It could be brand new. It hasn't got any mess on it at all. So I'm not worried about getting the whole of this off. And the reason that I'm not worried about that is because Dina told me I didn't have to. So when I've been watching Dina videos, she says don't worry about that, it doesn't matter. And I trust Dina, so I'm not going to worry. Right, so all of these ones are spraying. I don't think I've got one that doesn't spray. But what I will do is show you what you can do, or what can sometimes work. So we've talked about this top bit that can go wrong. We've talked about the fact we've got this tube that can get sludge up it. So what you can then do to unclog it is actually spray it, but with the tube out of the bottle. And what it does is it has a little poo at the bottom of the tube. Any gunk comes out like a little poo. So you can, it's up to you how you want to do it. You can hold your paper up and spray onto your paper so that the plop comes out at the bottom, or you can do it the other way around. It's entirely up to you. I'm just going to show you by holding my raggy, spraying towards the raggy, and that's just to protect what's over here, and see if anything does come out that bottom. So you can see that's giving a really, really good clear out, but it does splash. And I've just realised I haven't got my pinny on. Oh no. Anyway, so you can see it does splash about. So your best thing you can do is just make sure you're protected. You can wrap up the whole thing in a raggy if you want to do it. But that has effectively cleaned out all the gunk that's in that tube. Okay, so if there had been a blockage, that would have gotten rid of it. And then you need to build the pressure up. So when you first press it, after you've done that clean out, you'll go, oh, it's stopped working. It hasn't. It just needs to then start sucking the paint back up because you've just emptied it. It's like if you empty a boiler, you have to refill it before you can then use it. You have to refill the tube before it'll spray out the top. So that's really quickly how you can clean out the tube and the sprayer. If that doesn't work, then you can try warm water. You can try cold. Actually, Dina recommends using cold water to do some of the cleaning because the warm water can encourage the paint to set. But you can also get replacement tops. The replacement tops are just the standard Ranger ones. So the Dina Wakley ones, the Tim Holtz Distress Sprays, they're the same top. So Ranger just sell the same like replacement top, so you can always do that as a last ditched attempt. So I hope that's been helpful. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again. Bye.